Alright, my pants here, have another review for you tonight. This is the Halloween tanks review, the Mad Games tanks. There's two tanks there, there's the Scavenger and the Gravedigger. Now I'm not going to have a look at the Mad gameplay, I haven't actually done any of that yet, I've just played them on normal maps. So let's just do the tanks and just review them. So let's have a look at the first one, Scavenger. Let's have a look at tech spec first, shall we? Now, first thing I say about this tank is that I think what I think about it as being great for an event tank and something that you can win, which is a collectible tank. And it's that it's a tier 5 tank, isn't it? Because here's the thing, right? Most of these event tanks, they're like tier 7, tier 8, tier 9 or whatever. But in actuality, a lot of players, they just play around tier 4, tier 5, don't they? Because that's where they're comfortable at, you know? Because the vast majority of players are not unicorn players. In fact, if you look at the stats, the vast majority of players are around, you know, average and good, right? That's just the way it is. And they like to play around 4 or 5, sometimes 6. That's where they feel comfortable. And if you look online, at any given time to people playing in different tiers, that's where they are, isn't it? So it's great to have a tank for them, isn't it? Something that they can enjoy and play well with. Now this is a good tank, I have to say. I've played a few games with it, and I really enjoyed it. What I would say is I don't like the bigger gun. I prefer the 75mm. Why is that? Well, I think that it plays more like a medium tank with this gun fitted. With the bigger gun, it's a bit too derpy. It's not good close up. It's not good at brawls. You know, it's a bit too much loading time, reload time, plus aiming time, and it has a propensity to miss actually. Even close up, when you're at point blank range, I missed a few shots. That might be down to me being shit, but let's just say it's the gun. Let's hope so, anyway, for argument's sake. But anyway, even if it is me, I'm playing with it, right? So, you know, can't have somebody else is playing with it, so it is me, so I didn't like it. So I loaded up 75mm gun and then load out the provisions and all that as if you're playing with this standard medium type tank. The tank is fast, it gets around the map well, it has a decent armour on the front. It has a very unusual sort of front to it too, but then that's as you would expect from something from fucking the future, from Mad Max or whatever. Mad Max Fury Road, isn't that the guy who designed it? I mean, not Mad Max himself, the guy who was designing the vehicles and that. As you can see, looking at it up front, it's going to do well up front. And if you're at a high tier, look at that, you're hardly going to pen it, you know, it's like a tomato with an erection. It's going to be very difficult to pen. It's a cool looking tank, I have to say. Gets around the map really well. Now, according to this tactics, it's good at fuck all, isn't it? Sort of like one of my ex-girlfriends, good at fuck all. By the way, also like one of my ex-girlfriends, this tank looks a lot better from behind. The front of it kind of looks weird, it looks like it has fucking arms or something. It's a bit freaky actually. But it is a Halloween tank, so I guess freaky is better, isn't it? In the context of Halloween, not in the context of normal tanks or girlfriends. Anyway, let's roll, let's take her out for a spin. I think this is about my 3rd or 4th game in it. I think it might be the first game we'd uploaded to 75mm. I don't lie to you and say it is, I'm not 100% sure, I think it is, but anyway. Now, with the 75mm, as I said, you can play it much more like a normal med, particularly if you play German meds, whatever. The 75mm gun is what's normal on them. As you can see, it has a reload similar to them. They're all around late 6s and this is a 7, so similar kind of gameplay. What I would say is that having played a couple of games now with this gun, the gun is very accurate. It does decent alpha roll for the 75, you're not going to be disappointed with it. But it's very accurate and it pens almost all the time, unlike the bigger gun, which is very derpy and unpredictable and difficult to handle. So, much like that ex-girlfriend I was telling you about as well. So, yeah, Jesus, actually, maybe I should call this tank. Oh no, let's not use names. Who knows? Subscribes here. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, rolling out there in the old Scavenger. Actually, you get a Scavenger. That would be a great nickname for her. Anyway, sorry, I digressed. So I need to get off that. So you can see the gun is good, accurate over long distances. The armor the armor profile, because of all the angles, the weird angles it has, and those of you who played the Helsing will know that the Helsing bounces shots it shouldn't, because of the weird angles it has. And this thing is the same. You bounce quite a few shots in this based on the caliber of the rounds being fired at, you should have gone through, but just the weird angles it creates, they just didn't go through. Try a snapshot there, it doesn't go through. I didn't. The aiming time is a bit higher than normally on a med. But you'll see here, I'm able to rock back and forward. It has a low profile, the turret armor is good, and you can get into sort of situations like this, peek-a-boom, use a bit of cover in that, and the gun will pen for you. I took one there, I thought it was a cover, but it wasn't. But you'll see here now I'm sort of facing up against 3. and you know, just to go and just expose a little bit of turret, go back forward, and yeah, it's pretty good at this. Just go for a little tiny target there in the stug, because so his gun can't get at me, and it just went straight through. That's what I'm saying about this gun. I really like this gun, much prefer to the other one. That, by the way, is just my personal opinion. I'm sure others will say they much prefer the bigger gun, and I guess it does give something different to your standard med. But I like playing meds, and this is more like standard med. It suits my gameplay, game style a bit, which is shit game style. If you have shit game style like me, then it'll suit you down to the ground. But you see, the gun is very good. You know, it's gonna depends most times. By the way, there's a great little shot coming up here. Tyler's gonna get one in the stug, and his little mate just pops out and takes one from. There you go. Whoop, there you go. Cheers, buddy. There you go. That's what you call cock blocking. It really is. Although that cock blocking is beneficial. Most times you get cock blocking, it's not beneficial. Sure, it's not. But anyway, there you go. We digress, don't we? Again, as always, I'm always digressing, aren't I? I think digress must be one of the words that appears most in my fucking videos. This little fella's trying to run away. Not going to get away from the scavenger, my friend. I'm going to scavenge your ass. And then this little fella here, spam blam, thank you, ma'am. As you see there, the gun repression is not great on it, so you do need a bit to be cognitive of that when you're playing. But here's what I mean about the armor, you know, bouncing shots. That normally might go through, etc. Now this little fella here, you can see, you know, these are bastard to penetrate. These fellas, aren't they? I mean, they do. He's moving pretty fast, actually, isn't he? He's just coming. Obviously, he wants the old. Oh, by the way, what he's doing here, just probably should point this out to you. This is going to happen to you if you're playing the scavenger, especially today or tomorrow, or the day after. You're going to get targeted. People are just going to come at you and just try to mob you just because you're in this tank. It happens all the time with events, especially if you're one of the first to get it. People just want to mob you. I don't know if it's a jealousy thing or a curiosity thing or a curiosity thing, which is a combination of curiosity and jealousy. Curiosity, I think it's a great word. I just made it up, by the way, it just came to me. So, sort of like a wet dream or an epiphany or road to Damascus moment. Anyway, yes, there's probably curiosity or jealousy. Jealousy, that sounds like something that you need to go to the doctor with, doesn't it? Jeez, the doctor would be a very bad case of jealousy. Well, here's a prescription, and stay at home, and probably you should get a nappy as well. Anyway, there we're digressing again. What are you fucking talking about? Oh yeah, you're gonna get mobbed. People are gonna target you in the game. You will get the odd decent player who say, hey, what's it like, how's it going, I'm getting it myself, working towards it, blah blah blah, any tips. And you get others that go, gold noob, prick, fucking wanker, all this, you know, the normal stuff you get. So, and then you get other people then who just won't say anything, just mob you. You find yourself getting attacked by 4 or 5, especially if you throw front line or try to go up spot, whatever. So just be aware of that too. But just be cognizant of those few things, but I mean that will all even out in a while as more people get to tank and it's not a novelty anymore. Here we go, back again, our little friend the Crusader again. Here he is, here we put a few into him earlier, and there we go, here's the coup de grace after the afterlife with you, my friend. So there you go, that's the scavenger in all its glory. I think he did pretty well in this game actually. I think 5 kills, wasn't it, or something like that, and almost 2k damage, wasn't it? Yeah, almost 2k damage for 5 kills. First class mastery, didn't quite get the full mastery, probably needs to do a bit more damage than that, especially because it's been alpha tested by Unicum players, so obviously it's harder to start when these new tanks come out. Anyway, that's it, that's the first tank. Let's have a look at the Gravedigger. Second tank, let's have a look at the tech spec. Now it's a Tier 7 Heavy compared to the Tier 5 Medium we just reviewed. Tier 7 Heavies, you know, my personal thing is that you can't go beyond, you can't look beyond the Tiger P or the Tiger 1. I think they're the best there. But let's have a look at this thing again. It's a pretty cool looking tank, you know. It's pretty, and it's very unusual, and definitely something you want to have, you would like to have in your collection, right? And I have to say, its armor profile and all that is pretty cool. But here's what I don't like about it, and what I didn't enjoy really playing it, is the gun. And again, this is my own personal preference, and maybe people will tell us it's great. And this is the same problem I had with the Universal Marine Predator last year, right? I think heavy tanks should have big fucking guns that do big alpha rolls, right? Because the whole thing is, you know, you use your armor, you pop out, you do a shot, you know, bounce shot, whatever. The problem is with these auto loaders that do fuck all damage per individual shot, but can do anything from 3 to 550 damage unloading the full clip, is that you've got to be exposing yourself every time you make a shot. And if you're only getting 80 to 90 damage each time, to my mind that's fucking useless, isn't it? I mean, you don't have the speed of a maneuverability of a light tank or a medium tank. So basically you got to stick your big fucking head, and this thing has a big fucking head by the way, out a lot, and you're at the road risk then getting fucking smashed. And you actually see in this game, I think I take a massive hit off a KV2 or something, because I have to pop out all the fucking time to try to put damage in. Or then the other thing is that happens to me a lot is you get fucking lazy and you don't bother popping back in every time, because otherwise your fucking thumb would fall off if you keep having to rock back and forward every time you're putting in 6 fucking rounds. And you just leave yourself out there, just keep pummeling the opposition, then you just get fucking smashed by something. So I don't like that. I just think that, you know, a heavy tank should have a gun that just does some damage, you know. You just pop out, fire, and I don't mind then if it's got a long reload or whatever, because you can go back into hiding and use your armor to protect yourself. Just this pop it out and doing all sorts of, you know, having to take loads of shots, I just think it exposes you too much, and it doesn't suit my gameplay, which, as we said, is shit anyway. So there you go. Now, but you know, some people may like it. I just didn't like it that much myself. Now you can see here that the armor profile in this thing, particularly front on, is fucking brilliant. So in that respect, it's kind of like the Lupus a bit. It says here it's great in a 1v1 brawl. I don't know why it's saying that. I think it's probably to do with the ram damage that you can do, because this thing can ram the fucking shit out of anything. With these big fucking claw things in the front of it, it's like the fucking tank equivalent of a fucking crab with a fucking bulldozer or some shit like that. Bulldozer crab. Don't think there is any such genesis, but yeah. Anyway, the bulldozer crab can do all sorts of damage. But you know, I didn't find this kind. I mean, it will bounce some shots for you and all that, but to me, just the gun, I just don't like it. So, as you can see now, let's have a look at quick gun. So it has this nail gun, right? So it's 6 shots in the magazine, and the reload time is only less than 0.7 of a second, which is great, right? So that's, you'd think, okay, I'm gonna do a lot of damage, I can burst damage. Let's just set it up here now, as I would with anything that has an auto loader. Set up the provisions. Now I'm going to set up more APCR than I would normally, because the gun is very low caliber, so you're not going to pen. You know, I have calibrated shells running on it, but you're still going to. So you're still going to find it difficult to pen, I think, with this little fucking gun. I mean, it's not a Tier 7 heavy gun, right? Actually, it's sort of like a Tier 5 or 6 medium gun. So we'll set it up with calibrated shells, because I really think you're going to need that extra pen. And then we'll just set it up the normal way I would for a heavy. I'm going to use the enhanced armor, and going to use B-file gun. But actually, this time I'm not going to use supercharged, because I actually want to have a lower aiming time, because I've got to be exposing myself so much. So that's why I've chosen it like this. But again, that's just my personal preference. Now remember, I was saying earlier on about people, you know, commenting on the fact that you've got this, and I got this just. It's the first day I played, when I played it quite early this morning, I think. So not many people had seen it or whatever. So you'll see when we go into the game. Well, firstly I'm top tier, obviously, because, you know, I think it's my first or second game in the tank. Sure, it's exactly my first game, isn't it? As I just faded out with his cars, yeah, just fucking hell. Pay attention, Armoured, pay attention, will you, stupid fucker? Pay attention to your own games. Now, as you can see, it's an unusual looking fucker as well. It sort of, as I said, looks like sort of a cross between a crab and a bulldozer. And as I said, so, you know, people are going to have curiosity or jealousy, and so you should just all follow the Gravedigger. I don't know how that's a good piece of advice. It's my fucking first time in this, so. But anyway, they all follow me. So, which, forget about the tank itself, is actually a good strategy, because I mean, even if you don't have great players on your team, if you all stick together, you're a good job. Or you all go the same direction, you have a better chance of winning than if you all fuck off like fucking, you know, sparrows at fucking in fucking migration time, you know. So that's just a weird analogy, isn't it? If you all fuck off like fucking pedophiles when the cops come, or those fellas that sell you the lucky men that sell you shit in Barcelona and that, you know, like Rolex watches and all that. You ever see them when the cops come? Fuck me, they could fucking won the Olympics, those lads. Obviously all related to Linford Christie or fucking Usain Bolt or whatever. So you see what I mean? Like, you know, your time on target here, I just don't like it. I just don't feel comfortable. Like, I'm sort of edging back and forth in that, but you just have to spend a lot of time on target, I think, and I just don't like it. I don't think that's what a heavy tank should be doing. I mean, if I could if I could have just popped out once and done the same alpha damage to that M6, I'd be happier with it anyway. Now you see what I mean there? That's like a massive smash off that KV, just because I had to spend so much time on target, you know. I did bounce 1 or 2 shots from the M6, so the armor is good, especially front on like this. It is good, you know. But again, you see what I mean? Like these shells. I didn't get that kill there. Just put it right into the shallow armor piece there in between the turret and the hull, but you know, it happened. You can see what I mean here when I come down onto this KV3, right? So coming down front down, I beat him up there, put him into the weak manifold there in between the turret and the hull. And again, like, you know, I got what, 3-2-1 alpha roll there, or whatever. Bounce another shot there. As you can see, the turret is great for bouncing shots. But you know, I think, you know, it seems to be a lot of faffing around. If you could just fucking pop out and just put in 1 shot and get the same alpha roll, surely that's better, no? Just in my opinion, anyway. I mean, especially if you're in heavy tank, because they're not maneuverable anyway. Although for a heavy tank, this thing is, I mean, it's fast enough. You know, as heavies go, it was around 35 kilometers an hour. So I mean, I hit 40 there going downhill. So you know, like heavy tank drivers, you know what I mean? I know maybe on that, players, whatever. Their ambition is to get caught in a speed trap. You know, much like people who drive a lad or something like that. You know, most of us don't like getting caught in speed traps, but it's their ambition, isn't it? Like, to get caught. They're always looking for speed traps at the bottom of the hills and things. You know, hey, I got caught in a speed trap today. But anyway, I digress. What was I talking about? Yeah, so this tank, yeah, I just don't like the gun in it. I have to say, it's just not my cup of tea. You know, see, it's not reliable. Too much time on target. Too much faffing around. Too much fucking around, really, isn't there? It's the complete opposite of that girlfriend I was talking about. There's fuck all fucking around there. But anyway, yeah. So it just doesn't do it for me, to be honest. It's just not. It's not my bag, baby. It's not my bag. As Austin Powers used to say when he made movies, or Mike Myers was Austin Powers, or whatever. And again, you know, you see, like, they get the kill here, but again, could easily bounced as well. The gun is just not that reliable, and a lot of faffing around, you know. So nobody likes faffing, do they? But anyway, let's have a look. So there you go. Did less damage than that than I did in the tier 5. I know we did finish top tier, I guess. So 2 kills. So like a sort of okay game, but you know. But anyway, it's just my opinion. It's just what do you think? You know, I mean, my opinion, my humble opinion, Scavenger is great. I really enjoyed playing it. That was great fun. It's an excellent medium with great armor. It's going to get great bounce. It looks awesome. It's better with a 75mm gun because it plays more like a standard med. And the Gravedigger, it also looks cool. I mean, it's a cool looking motherfucker for sure. But just that gun, I just don't like it. But it is collectible. But the gun just sucks ass, you know. If you can only get one, get the Scavenger. If you can get both, well, fair plays to you, Mush. Fair plays. Alright, see you now. Cheers, boys. See you now, boys.